Hello everyone, this is Samprathi Manjunath here. This course is about input-output statements and decision-making looping in C. So first lesson in this course is input-output statements. There are two types of input and output statements in C. C provides various functions to perform formatted and unformatted input-output operations. The difference between formatted and unformatted input and output operations is that in case of formatted input-output, the data is formatted or transformed. That means that in formatted input-output, binary data is converted to ASCII before it is being stored, manipulated or output. So formatted input-output is always portable and human readable, but it consumes more space and it's expensive because of the conversions to be done in between the input and output. But in case of unformatted input output, it transfers the data in its raw form or binary representation without any conversions, unlike formatted input output. So unformatted input output is the most basic form of input output, and it is simple, efficient and compact. It is portable only between machines that use the ASCII character set. Example, putchar, getchar, etc. Example for formatted statements are printf, scanf. So now we learn about printf first. This function provides for formatted output to the screen. Means that it is used to output any combination of data. The outputs are produced in such a way that they are understandable and are in an easy to use form. It is necessary for the programmer to give clarity of the output produced by his program. This is the syntax for the printf function. Printf, then parenthesis, format enclosed within double quotes, variable 1, variable 2. So what comes under this format is that it includes a listing of the data types of the variables to be output and optionally some text and control characters. So basically it means that it consists of around 3 types of items, that is characters that will be printed on the screen as they appear, then format specifications that define the output format for display of each item, then some escape sequence characters such as /n, /t and /p, etc. So see the example here. We have declared float A and int B. Scanf reads the character. So we are reading the A and B. We are inputting the data of A and B after writing it to the keyboard. Means that we are reading from the keyboard. What we are inputting the value, we are reading it from the keyboard to the compiler. Then that value is printed on the screen, A and B, with %f for A and %d for B. So now we have seen here that %d, %f. So what is this? These come under the format conversion specifiers. So what are these? Format specifiers define the type of data to be printed on standard output, whether to print formatted output or to take formatted input. We need format specifiers. As we saw, we used it in printf as well as scanf. Format specifiers are also called as format string. So see here, %d is used for integer. Then %f, as we saw before, is used for floating point. Then %c is for character. %s is for string. %e is for exponential and %l to indicate a long type, and %g displays a number in either e or f format, that is exponential or floating point format. So now we'll see scanf. Scanf function provides for formatted input from the keyboard. Means it is used to read information from the standard input device. So see, this is the syntax for the scanf function. Format variable 1, variable 2. Here AND is given. We saw before in previous lessons that AND means it's used to refer to the address of the variable. So we are using AND here. So format is a listing of the data types of the variables to be input, and the AND, as I said now, in front of each variable name tells the system where to store the value that is input. It provides the address for the variable. So and means it tells where we have to store the input, because scanf means we are reading the input from the keyboard. So and tells where to store it. So it provides the address for the variable. So format represents the type of data that the user is going to accept and gives the address of the variable. So see an example here, float A, int B. We are reading A and B using AND. These two are the format specifiers. So see an example program here. Here what we are doing is that we are adding two numbers and printing the sum. So enter A and B, that is being printed, the message. Then we are reading A and B. The value which I am entering into the keyboard, the value is being read and accepted by the user. So A and B, I have entered the value as 2 and 3. So 2 and 3 are accepted. Then the the operation is being done, that is C is equal to A plus B. So 2 plus 3 is 5. So sum is percentage %d. Why percentage %d? Because it is integer data type. So C should be printed. C is the result. So sum is, instead of percentage %d, will be outputting the C value. So that is 5. So now we will be learning about unformatted input output. We had learned the example as putchar, getchar, and putc, getc, and puts, gets, etc. So we learn about that now. So first, getchar and putchar. The getchar function will read a single character from the standard input. So the return value, that means the output value which we see in the screen, it will only be the first character in the input what we have given. The input is read until the enter key is pressed, but only the first character of the input what we have entered, only that will be written. In putchar, what will happen is that it will print a single character on standard output. Getchar reads a single character, putchar prints a single character. The character to be printed is passed to putchar function as an argument. So the return value, the output what will we see on the screen, is the character which was written to the output. Getchar and putchar functions are part of the standard C library header stdio.h. So see an example program. So what is happening here is that I gave an input SAM, SAM. So as we saw that getchar accepts only one character and putchar takes and prints only one character. So it is accepting only the first character yes, and it's printing the first character what it had accepted, that is the yes. So it is printing the yes character. So we can take down an observation that we terminated the input by pressing the enter key. But however, the getchar function took only the first character, which is yes, from the input, and putchar function also printed it out. So next we learn about getch and putch. These are similar to getchar and putchar, but these come from the library conio.h. But this conio.h, it is not a standard C library header and it is not supported by compilers that target Unix. However, it is supported in DOS-like environments. So getch, it reads a single character from the standard input. But the input character is not displayed on the screen like how we saw in getchar and putchar. So it returns when the first character is entered. It does not wait for the enter key to be pressed. And putch writes a character that is passed as an argument to the console. So what argument we have passed, it just prints the character to the console. So just see an example here. Here what's happening is that I have pressed a key N, but the input what I have taken, it is not being displayed or echoed on the screen. It is just being accepted. Then after it is being accepted, it is being printed. The key pressed is, then putch. The key what I had pressed, it is being displayed. So the character that is passed as an argument, in this case n, that is being printed to the console. So the character n was not echoed like previous example when we entered it. So this can be noted as an observation in this. So next we'll see getS and putS. So these two will be basically using for string operations. GetS, it accepts a string of characters entered at the keyboard, and putS prints a string on the screen. In previous examples and functions, we saw that they accept only a single character like that because it is a character, but in getS and putS we will be operating using strings. So this is the syntax for getS and for putS. So getS accepts a string of characters entered at the keyboard and places them in the string variable mentioned with it. Like see here, for example, char name 16. So we have declared the name 16. Then getS of name. So getS reads a string of maximum 15 characters because it is being declared 16, and in strings we will be learning in the next lessons that the last character in string is null character, that is it's placed at the end of the string. That means that it is just terminating the string if the enter or carriage return is pressed. So here what's happening is getS reads a string of maximum 15 characters and stores it in memory address pointed to by name. So putS writes a string on the screen and advances the cursor to the new line. So it prints the output, and that is the string, on the screen and moves to the next line. So cursor is moved to the new line here. So what happens is it ends with a new line character, that is /n. So see an example, putS1, putS2. So what happens is first putS will print 1 and place the cursor to the next line. So second putS will print 2 and again the cursor is placed to the new line. So this keeps continuing. So this is what happens in putS. So thank you everyone.